Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to another very important episode in which we're gonna test a couple of more setups, in this case of course for the Air Force. But before we do that, let me make two very important points when it comes down to this specific videos. So I hope you have not missed the video which I have uploaded yesterday. It's super important to go watch it for the following two important reasons. First of all, because the conditions are literally the same, the only difference in there are other heroes combinations with the level 5 exclusive skill. And the second most important thing is that since August 2023, yes, that was last year, Riva Game has decided to change their business model when it comes down to the way they are implementing the new heroes. In other words, in the past it was always like this, that the new hero already with the level 5 was far stronger than the older hero which we were using with the level 7. In other words, episodes like this, or the episode which I have uploaded yesterday, are super important right now, but also will remain super important for a longer period of time. Good, so let's start with the testing. So I would like to react to some of the comments which you guys have sent me yesterday after seeing that episode, and one of them was, Timmy, if Brady, Abad and Asuka all with level 5 shows such great numbers and performance, why aren't you recommending that much? And the answer is, I probably didn't explain myself very well, and allow me to do it one more time, this time much better, because I said my Shinji is with level 7 exclusive skill, and with the help of this level 7 exclusive skill, Shinji is within another dimension. That's one way to explain it, but you know what? Let me put the numbers right now on the screen and let's have a look. So, by the way, we are keeping on the left side of the screen the best setup possible, which are, of course, the battle reports which you saw yesterday is Brady, Abad and Asuka all with level 5. And let me briefly show you now Brady with level 5, Shinji with level 7 and Abad with level 5. So, here are the battle reports. And what you're seeing here are 13 fields marked in green. And you also see negative values. In other words, those were the battles in which I literally won. And of course you see me only marking one field in red, which is this 62% of units still left on my opponent, being the worst performance possible. And of course you see the average performance of this match under the same conditions reaching a 17%. Again, the lower the value, the better the performance. And that's why, beautiful people, I'm sticking with Brady level 5, Shinji level 7 and Abad with level 5. Good, now let's go to the second setup which we want to test in this episode, because a lot of you guys also asked me in the DMs, what about Asuka, Shinji and Abad all with level 5 exclusive skill? I did indeed answer your DMs and mentioned that I'm very skeptical when it comes down to the offense buffing capability of Asuka being the only offense buffing hero within this match, and I do indeed expect a performance which is not necessarily a top tier performance. So that's why this is the next match we are testing, and let's put the battle reports on the screen. So what you're seeing here is me marking just one field in which you see 53%. It's still positive. In other words, I haven't won a single battle with this setup. And of course, if we want to follow the trend from yesterday's video in which I'm gonna mark the worst performances possible from these setups, in which my opponent still had up to 70% of his units left, which is, by the way, super bad. In this case, you are seeing here a whopping 21 fields marked in red. And of course, we also see the average performance being 70%, which is close to double when we compare this to Brady, Abad and Asuka. But hold your horses, because we have another setup which you guys again requested me to test it exactly under the same conditions which we tested in yesterday's episode, but also in today's episode, and that is Cranston, Duke and Kai. And this match and these three heroes have absolutely the perfect synergy when it comes down to their skill design. So let's put these battle reports on the screen, and what you're seeing here is just one field marked in green having a positive value of 25%, meaning in other words, yes, I haven't won a single battle with this setup. And of course, I just gonna mark one single field in red because that represents the absolute worst value, which is 69%. And we also see an average of 50% March performance. Again, compared this with the 39.31 coming from Brady, Abad and Asuka, all with level 5 exclusive skill. So after we see all these battle reports right now on the screen, we can immediately draw a conclusion. And I think before River Game had released Abad, there were a couple of metas which were extremely close to each other in performance, but we see right now that indeed Brady with Abad and Asuka are definitely showing better results, and you should definitely notice this performance increase if you choose this exact setup. So what other March setups for the Air Force we can actually address in this episode? And I would like to refer to a few DMs from players asking what about Hazel's versus Brady from the performance perspective. And I don't think this is necessary for me to actually put some numbers on the screen, but I can actually put this episode right here on the screen because both heroes, Brady and Hazel, were released in the so-called Dark Age of TOPWAR, in which every single new hero already with level 5 was far more stronger than the older hero with level 7. So from this perspective, I don't think it's necessary to make a comparison between Brady and Asuka, because that's exactly what this video right here on the screen does for you. Brady with level 5 already being far stronger than Hazel with the level 7. But I would like to address these questions from some of you guys. If I have Hazel right now at 5 stars and with level 5 exclusive skill, should I 5-star Brady immediately and get also his level 5 exclusive skill? And the answer is pretty simple, because it's all up to your universal hero shards and also exclusive shards income, because our expectation is an alternative for Brady should come in round about 6 months from now. So it's not a bad idea to wait 6 months and gather these items, and as soon as that hero comes out, come on this channel, watch the evaluations, and if that hero is that good, then you have immediately the items to get that hero at least to 5 stars. And of course, I have to mention here that you should bear with me, because doing this test implies that I'm switching all the skills, all the perks, all the gear, double checking this and then testing this setup, and then after that moving to the next match, and after that moving to the next match, and after that putting everything back together. And this takes a while and it's super annoying. So from this perspective, I think we have indeed covered the most important marches when it comes down to the Air Force. Of course, there are far more options right there when it comes down to Duke instead of Shinji, when it comes down to Striker instead of Shinji, when it comes down to Maximo, when it comes down to Barbie. So allow me to close this video by mentioning a couple of very important factors. One of these, of course, is I'm expecting that this type of videos like this one today and the one from the yesterday to have a very high value, not just right now, but also for a longer time in the future, simply because all these hero setups are tested under literally the same conditions. The second strong reason being River Game still being on this road that every new hero would be an alternative and no longer a clear replacement. And allow me to add a third very important factor, which is, yes, the Titan gear and their special effects, guys. So at this point, if you see a difference between your setup and a different setup being round about 5%, 7%, I think it's very safe to say there is no point to do that change, especially because a lot of players out there, for them it's a huge burden to take a new hero to 5 stars, and often you really have to get also that level 5 exclusive skill. So you should rather focus your attention items, and if you are choosing to spend money, on the special effects of the hero gear. So yeah, beautiful people, do not forget to support what supports you back, which is exactly this channel right here since November 2022. In other words, take a moment of your time and check if you are subscribed to this channel. This is super important for me and has a very high value for us all whenever we are reaching out to the Top War developing team. What else you can do? Yes, you can share this channel with your friends, not just because these informations are super valuable, but you also are extra supporting this channel. And beautiful people, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao guys.